Avatar is a groundbreaking science fiction film directed by James Cameron, released in 2009. It's set in the mid-22nd century and explores humanity's expansion into space, ecological exploitation, and the clash between technology and nature. The film is both a thrilling adventure and a deeply thematic environmental allegory. The story takes place on Pandora, a lush, habitable moon orbiting the gas giant Polyphemus in the Alpha Centauri star system. Pandora is home to exotic wildlife, floating mountains, bioluminescent forests, and the indigenous humanoid species known as the Na'vi. Pandora's environment is hostile to humans because its atmosphere is toxic. However, it contains a valuable mineral called unobtainium, which the human corporation RDA, Resources Development Administration, wants to mine for profit. To interact with Pandora's environment and communicate with the Na'vi, humans develop the Avatar program. This program uses genetically engineered hybrid body avatars that resemble the Na'vi but are controlled remotely by human operators through a neural link. The film's protagonist is Jake Sully, a paraplegic former Marine. His twin brother, a scientist, was supposed to be part of the Avatar program but died unexpectedly. Because Jake shares his brother's DNA, he's chosen to take his place as an Avatar driver. When Jake first arrives on Pandora, he's overwhelmed by its beauty and danger. The moon is teeming with wildlife, some majestic, others deadly. The human base, Hell's Gate, is heavily fortified against the wilderness. Jake's main assignment is to gather intelligence on the Na'vi, specifically the Omaticaya clan, who live in a giant, sacred tree called Homa Tree. This tree sits on one of the richest deposits of unobtainium, creating a conflict between corporate greed and indigenous rights. Jake's superior in the military division, Colonel Miles Quaritch, promises him new legs if he provides information that will help the RDA move the Na'vi. This motivates Jake to serve both science and the corporation at first. Under the scientific team led by Dr. Grace Augustine, Jake learns about the Na'vi and Pandora's interconnected biosphere. Grace has genuine respect for the native culture and hopes to find a peaceful solution to coexist with them. During a mission, Jake's avatar becomes separated from the group and lost in the jungle. He faces numerous dangers and barely survives until he's rescued by Neytiri, a skilled Na'vi warrior and the daughter of the Omaticaya clan's leaders. Neytiri initially views Jake as a childlike outsider but decides to help him after receiving a sign from Maiwa, the Na'vi's spiritual deity who represents the collective consciousness of all living things on Pandora. Neytiri introduces Jake to her clan, and though they are skeptical of him, they agree to let him stay and learn their ways. Through this, Jake begins to immerse himself in Na'vi culture, language, and spirituality. As Jake spends more time among the Na'vi, he experiences a profound transformation. He learns to ride the dire horse, bonds with a mountain banshee, a flying creature, and participates in the rituals of the tribe. His bond with Neytiri deepens, and a romantic relationship blossoms between them. Neytiri teaches Jake the Na'vi way of viewing nature as sacred and interconnected, contrasting sharply with humanity's exploitative mindset. Meanwhile, the RDA grows impatient. The corporation wants results and is pressuring both Grace and Jake for information that can help them extract unobtainium more efficiently. Jake's reports initially serve both sides. He's supposed to help RDA understand the Na'vi's weaknesses, but his growing empathy for them causes an internal conflict. He begins to see the humans as invaders and destroyers. Grace and Jake try to convince RDA executives, including Parker Selfridge, that a peaceful relocation is possible, but the corporate leaders only see profits and ignore the ethical implications. When diplomacy fails, Colonel Quaritch takes matters into his own hands. He authorizes a military strike to intimidate the Omaticaya into leaving their home, escalating tensions to the breaking point. Jake and Grace are eventually exposed as spies when the Na'vi learn of their ties to the RDA. The clan feels betrayed and banishes them. At the same time, RDA launches an attack on Homa Tree, using gunships and explosives. The destruction of Homa Tree is one of the film's most powerful and emotional moments. The Na'vi lose their home, many lives are lost, and the forest burns. Jake and Grace are imprisoned by RDA after trying to intervene. With the help of sympathetic scientists like Norm Spellman and Trudy Chack-Cubeden, a pilot who opposes the RDA's brutality, Jake and Grace escape and flee back to Pandora's wilderness. They seek refuge with another Na'vi clan and try to regain the trust of the people. Jake tames a legendary creature known as Toryuk, a massive flying predator that no Na'vi has ridden in generations. By riding Toryuk, Jake earns the title Toryuk Makto, a figure of great significance in Na'vi culture. This act symbolizes his complete transformation and acceptance into the Na'vi world. Inspired by Jake's leadership, the Na'vi tribes unite against the RDA in a large-scale battle for the survival of Pandora. The humans deploy advanced weapons, aircraft, and meshes, while the Na'vi rely on their intimate knowledge of the land and the aid of Pandora's creatures. Grace is critically injured during the conflict. The Na'vi attempt to transfer her consciousness permanently into her avatar body using the sacred Tree of Souls, but she dies in the process of becoming one with Aiwa. The final battle is visually spectacular and emotionally charged. Jake leads the Na'vi forces against Quaritch's troops in an epic clash between nature and machine. Despite being outgunned, the Na'vi receive unexpected help from Pandora itself. The wildlife, seemingly guided by Aiwa, joins the fight and overwhelms the human forces, reinforcing the theme of nature's unity and resistance. Jake and Quaritch face off in a brutal one-on-one battle. Quaritch uses a mechanical exosuit, while Jake fights to protect Neytiri and their world. The fight ends when Neytiri kills Quaritch with her bow, saving Jake. With the RDA defeated, the surviving humans are forced to leave Pandora. Jake and a few others who stood with the Na'vi are allowed to remain. Jake decides to permanently transfer his consciousness into his avatar body. In the film's final moments, Jake's human body lies still as his consciousness awakens inside his Na'vi form, symbolizing rebirth, acceptance, and unity with Pandora.